Welcome to the Hybrid Soul Countdown. Today, I'd like to welcome my special guest, Austin. How are you today?
I can't complain. Yeah, doing good. Woke up.
Ve- Absolutely. Austin, I have to say, I am a fan of your music. I was a fan even before the countdown started for me because it's relatively new. I always state that I am a discovery person, and I like when I'm in the house and working, I play different music and just, Pandora gave me that feel of just let's discover. And I
Right.
heard this melodic voice while I probably was cleaning or writing and stuff. And I had to stop everything I was doing and go, who is this on my phone playing this song? And my first introduction to you, probably like everyone else, was the Happier Than Ever.
Yep.
You did a cover of Billie Eilish. You're a native of Panama City, Florida. And, I'm curious to know what were your musical influences?
Yeah, I think growing up, I listened to a lot of country music.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I had a little bit of Rascal Flatts and like Alan Jackson, and then as I
Right.
got a little bit older, uh, I got into like the R&B style.
Right.
Studied jazz for a little bit in college, and that like really influenced it a bit. But yeah, people like Bryson Tiller, Brent Faiyaz, big
Yeah.
Kehlani fan. Love Music Soul Child and D'Angelo and Destiny's Child. Um, yeah, there's a whole lot of them, but yeah, I think the one that really turned the corner for me was like Music Soul Child. The
Yeah.
I've Sing album. I've listened to that probably 1,000 times.
What's your favorite song from that album?
Probably Merry Go Round.
Yo, let me put you on to another artist who was a writer on here, Eric Roberson, who I'm going to have on
Okay.
the show. But please check him out. He's the writer of that song. And
Oh wow.
when you listen to Eric Roberson, you're going to hear, oh, I get this. Why this tone and whatnot from Music Soul Child.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Happier Than Ever song. Out of all the songs in the world, because you named all these different people, what made you say, I'm going to take this song and do this song and make a cover?
Yeah. So I've been doing like the R&B flips for a little bit,
Yeah.
since the middle of last year. And so I was getting familiar with how I wanted to do it and stuff. And then I came across this Billie Eilish song on like the top 50 radio. And
Yeah.
I was like, it's only the back half of it that I covered because it's
Right.
a certain like 6-8 meter that really leaned towards that like old school R&B, like 90s R&B. And honestly, it felt like a layup. It really did because I love that style so much. I feel like it's so genuine and raw. It's probably one of the easier covers that I did. But yeah, the writing in the song is incredible. Just the way
Yeah.
it's put in the melodies and stuff. So definitely made my job easier.
I actually like your version. I actually like your version because when I heard it, I was like, I've heard this before, but when you have such a vibe that you really did you did it a great service to this song for me to even go back to her rendition of it, or the tune of it. So thank you for that, because you probably may have introduced more people to Billie Eilish with the way you brought out the song.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's funny. A lot of people are like, I didn't know I thought this was your song originally. I'm
Word.
like, it's funny though, because her song has like, it's probably close to 1 billion streams now, which is crazy that some people don't know it exists, but there's a lot of people on the earth. So
Right. Let's take it back to your beginnings in Florida, Panama City. I know that your family introduced you to musical instruments. Do we hear a lot of that? Because some of your songs I hear the bass. And are you playing? How involved are you in your production process of creating your albums?
yeah, so I started producing when I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say like 80 to 90% of my catalog is all produced by myself. More recently though, my songs, I mean, the Happier Than Ever cover, I did that all by myself here, but
Right.
my latest EP was co-produced. It was like my first time collaborating and stuff. But yeah, grew up playing drums. Around eighth grade, I picked up the piano, and then when I really started songwriting, when I was like 16, oh no, probably like 17 or 18, I picked up the guitar. It's
Uh
hard to write a song on drums, so
huh. That's so cool. What so you live in LA now. What was it? Because I'm a product. I moved from school. I'm from the Midwest, and it was a big thing for me when I decided, you know what, the music industry is what I want to do. Um, everyone doesn't have that courage and strength. What was it for you to pick up and say, I'm out, I'm headed to LA?
Yeah, I think I kind of like met my management team and like all
Mm-hmm.
some pretty good friends through, the internet and stuff. And I came out and visited him a few times. And if it wasn't for those connections, I don't think I would have made the leap out here. I think I already had built somewhat of a strong foundation. I'd been releasing music from my parents' house for like a year and a half or two
Yeah.
years up to that point. So, I kind of already figured myself out a little bit. And yeah, I'm not a big like wing it type person.
Uh-huh.
So this was a really big deal for me. I just packed up all my things in my car and just drove over here. And
Wow.
yeah, it was a good time.
What could you tell someone that's listening to this interview who has a dream but kind of is looking at that hurdle, and really is struggling with what to do?
I think a really big thing for me is I've moved around a lot in my life as a
Mm-hmm.
kid. So I know better than a lot of people that, if you don't like somewhere that you move to, you can always move back to where you
Word.
were. It's
Yeah.
like hair too, it grows back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Just like hair.
It's true.
Absolutely. When I look at your catalog, you have so much. And I said you're a rapper because you have so many singles. Was that the plan for you? Just to release a lot of singles to, kind of to temperature the masses, the fans of your music before putting out albums and EPs?
Yeah, I think especially since at the beginning I was doing a lot of it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was so careful and I just was so like precious about these songs that I wanted all of them to get like their own spotlight.
Yeah.
Some of them can get lost when you release them in a project and they're just like project songs or an album cut. Um, they can get lost a lot. But now that I'm writing more music than I ever have. It's like, I think certain songs are meant to be those like hidden gems. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a little less precious about that. But yeah, you're right. I have I have a ton of singles.
How do you feel about collaborations? Because I see you don't do a lot, but how do you feel about collaborations with other artists? Being that you're in like LA, where all the artists that you listen to mostly live there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Have not done a lot of collaborations and looking to get into them for sure. I think,
Yeah.
especially recently with everything picking back up in the world, it's like you can get in the studio with other artists and see how they work and just like get closer with them and build relationships. I think that has a lot to do with it, rather than just like, I like this person, let me get him on my song. It's like, let me see who this person is like as a person outside of the artist, and like let's
Right.
connect, like let's build a relationship, and that way we can like. I feel like that you make something more special that way.
Of course, I know that you know that I was going to ask you who are some people that you would love to do collaborations with that are
Yeah,
out now.
yeah, I would love to. I would love to work with Kehlani. Um,
Mm.
someone also like Kiana Lede. I've been following her for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Um, even somebody like John Bellion, in like the pop space. I think his like production and songwriting is just insane. And
Yeah.
I'll say my number one is Ty Dolla Sign. I think I want to get him on
Oh,
something so bad. Oh my
oh
gosh.
my goodness. Yeah. I'm such a big fan of Ty Dolla Sign. What's as far as his mixtapes, do you go that deep? What's your favorite? Is there a favorite one that you like as far as with the Beach House?
I mean, I haven't gone back that far in the Beach House. I mean, Beach House 3.
Yeah.
That joint I have on repeat. I mean, I've been playing it since like what it came out in 2018 or 2017, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on that for a minute. But his most recent album, um, yeah, featuring Ty Dolla Sign, that joint I had is my number one album on all streaming platforms.
I could see a great collaboration with you two. That's so dope. Very cool. Um, when I look at all your catalog, because you've been doing it for some time now, what has been the most profound discovery of yourself with making your music, maybe from the first music that you made at in your parents' home till now?
Yeah, I think you can like really go back in the catalog and hear the progress like musically. I think lyric wise as well. But deep down it's funny. I just discovered this about myself. I don't really like express myself all that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like in day-to-day conversations with people, but like through my music, that's kind of where I get that across. So like I go back and listen to my music sometimes. I'm like, I didn't even know it when I was writing that song, but that's what I was going through at the time.
Right.
I
Right.
thought I was just like, you know, just living it up. And I go back and listen to the songs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I was like actually going
Right.
through. Hindsight's 2020, I guess. But
When I look at the current project, you're almost there. What does that mean for you? You're almost there. What's there for you?
yeah, so I thought I was writing about a destination when I first started writing it. I started writing it
Uh-huh.
last year, and I thought it was about a destination. I was fooled. It's really no destination at all. I think
Mm.
life's more about the journey and just
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the moment. I think life is one big like you're almost there. Like you set a destination, and then once you get there, you don't give yourself enough time to, you know, um, sit with it and enjoy the moment. So
Right.
yeah, it's what it's all about. Just enjoying the journey. There's no destination, and yeah,
Your current project is an EP. You're almost there. It like I said, I just think that all your music is a vibe because I was like, what's my favorite song like out of your whole catalog? And I can't pick exactly because every time I listen to it, I hear something in a song and go, wow, you talk about relationships and love. And I like that you said, learning about yourself, just expressing. When we look at your song, Real, what were you going through or discovering about yourself when you were writing that song?
yeah. I think looking back now, I had to sit with myself and wonder like, not really exactly like, was it ever real? I think that's
Yeah.
like a really really strong statement, and
Mm-hmm.
a little harsh, but I think more so it's like, is this like something we're prolonging for the better or for the worst?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to battle with myself, every day waking up thinking that like, where's this going? Is this going the distance? Can we like keep this up? The first line is like, am I in love or alone? Don't know which is worse. You know what I mean? Because like being in love and like not truly being in love can sometimes be worse than just being by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. During these past 2.5 years, how did your music, do you feel like your music grew, expanded, just being kind of, we were in a controlled environment and now we're out. So writing and producing, what was something that you discovered or you wanted to add with this new music that's coming out?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of time to sit there and like conceptualize about what I wanted to say
Mm-hmm.
before I ever like made the beat or like wrote down the lyrics or anything.
Right.
I had a lot of time to myself and could sit there and think of concepts like, you're almost there. Like I dropped the EP last summer called It's Not That Serious.
Yeah.
And those are like my first attempts at, sitting there and figuring out what I wanted to get across, the message I wanted to get across before any notes hit the paper or anything like that.
It's so true. It really is not that serious.
It's
If
not.
there's anything that I've learned during being at home, it's really not that serious.
I got that on my hand.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Like when people are tripping, you just be like, dude.
Exactly. Straight up.
When are we going to see you on the road touring? Because you're such a vibe, and a lot of people. This summer we have all these festivals that are coming back out, and I see you at so many different festivals because I can vibe. I can jump up and down. And you're the type of artist that the Hybrid Soul Countdown welcomes. Like you were on my list because you are a hybrid of so much. And coming from like Panama City, I think of so many things of when I think of the Florida sound.
Yeah.
My first question is when will we see you on the road on tour?
I'm hoping aiming for this summer or this fall.
Yeah.
One of those two. I think everything's still kind of up in the air. Like shows are just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the world's opening back up. I'm about to do a show in New York on May 5th, and then
I'm there.
after
I'm
that,
there.
it's like
Okay.
let's get on the road because I've been feeding for it.
That's cool. Have you had an experience to perform overseas yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I need to though. I need to go to the Philippines. They love R&B over there.
Yeah, it's a great overseas is a great experience. When you how has it been connecting with your fans, just from your start till now?
Yeah,
Do you
it's crazy seeing the continued support from certain people that have been
mm-hmm.
with me for like the past like 4 or 5 years. And even the new fans too. Just seeing how they can come in and make it really feel like a community and like
Yeah,
closer. A lot of these majority of these people I've never met in my life. Um,
right.
and sometimes I can consider them like some of my better friends, you know? So it's wild.
It is. When we're in this age of we communicate socially, how has it been for you? Like, in addition to, oh, I have to, protect my artistry and I have to write this music, but I also have to connect with my people on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. How have you been able to incorporate that in your life and career?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I started in 2017, so that's kind
Yeah.
of like all the social media stuff was really kicking out for artists.
Hmm.
I've always embraced it. I did go through a rough patch where I was like, man, I just want to like sit here and write music and not have to worry about my phone, you know. But
Right.
I kind of reinvented it a little bit and just figured out how to have fun again. Because when I first started, I loved social media. I loved promoting my stuff. And now it's like I'm having fun with it again.
Yeah.
Especially with these R&B remixes on TikTok. Just like
Yeah.
have a product you can be proud of, regardless of the engagement it gets or the amount of views it gets. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's wonderful. Do you see yourself doing more than music as far as just because you are an entertainer? What does the future hold for Austin within the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's so hard to tell. I mean, over the last year, I couldn't tell you I'd be where I am now.
Right.
Music's always been my first love, but it's funny. I feel like people always think they're gonna stick in one lane, but there's no way I could do that. I'll never say never. I would like to get into something like acting, something I've never dabbled in before ever. But
Yeah.
I could see myself. I could see myself somewhere in that field.
Well, I love who I love the concepts that you've had in the videos that I've seen. Are you how much involved are you with the video process with the visual?
Yeah. So my two really good friends did all these last few videos,
Uh-huh.
Amir and Cam, and we've known each other for a very long time. So they kind of know how to get in my brain and just like pull these ideas out. But yeah, we sit down for a little bit and just like figure it out. Like something as small as like the color scheme, or something as small as like the location and all this stuff. So yeah, I try to be pretty hands on. I don't consider myself a visual person, but
Yeah.
I try my best.
That's wonderful. Um, when your family and friends look at your body of work and what you're doing now, what's the feedback from them, especially like your mom and dad, because they were the introduction for you as far as
Yeah.
starting.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I remember when I released my first couple songs, um, my dad, mom, they didn't even know
Uh huh.
that I was releasing music, and my sister had to tell them. They were like, Austin's like releasing music on Spotify and stuff. And I remember my dad came in my room and he's like, you didn't tell me you were releasing this stuff, and I was like, I don't know what you're gonna say. And then he was like, this is awesome, and
Uh huh.
I was like, that's crazy. Someone asked me too. They were like, um, you know how has it been like how they reacted at first and then now, but it's like I feel like it's always been the same. I think they've always
Hmm.
like supported me in every single like facet of like the music journey. Whether I just joined high school band, they were super stoked, or whether I just, had this crazy journey over the past like 6 months. It's
Right.
the same reaction. It's super genuine and like, they want the best for me.
That's that's wonderful. Is there another genre of music that you would like to kind of play with in your body of work? Because I know your current project you just released it, so we still gonna have fun playing and listening to that. But I know that you are probably someone always in the studio. Is there another type of music that you would like to play around with?
Um, it's funny. I mean, I listen to so much stuff. Um, Even just on the writing side, I would love to just like write country music. I'd like to go out to Nashville and just write some country music, because I grew up on. But even something like Paramore, like that more like
Yeah.
rock style. I don't know how it included in there, but I feel like naturally would get in there. Like I have the Paramore vinyl up there, but Um, yeah, just something along those lines. Also, I'm into like the more like darker, moodier stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
my stuff now feels a little bit more like up tempo, kind of just
Right.
like I would like to get in something like a little bit more like darker and moodier.
I was and when we look at country music, so much is changed. We have all these different artists that are tapping in, and
Yeah.
even with hip hop, Nelly did something over there. And we have so many different artists. For me, I was this past Grammys, I was so kind of enamored with Chris Stapleton. I don't know if you watch. Oh my gosh. And he sang that song Cold. I
Uh-huh.
was floored. I was like, let me get this song. And because at the end of the day, all this music, if you're a music lover and you know good music, so it really doesn't matter. And I think the great thing, and I'm glad to hear you want to do country music, because you just never know what you're going to come out with,
It's
and
crazy.
and what it's gonna who you're gonna touch. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Austin, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I'm just enjoying watching your journey in this musical life, and I definitely will be when you're coming in on my stomping grounds in New York, so I'm looking forward to seeing you
Yep.
live. Is there any other thing that you'd like to tell your fans and new fans, because I know once they hear your music here, they're gonna want to know how to get in touch with you more. How can they reach you?
Just ASTN music on all socials. I like to
Yeah.
keep it simple. Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. I'm always responding. So yeah.
Yes, this is the Hybrid Soul Countdown with my special guest, Austin. Thank you, and we're going to see you next time.